welcome to GenFriends. I'm your host, Cheri Hudson-Passy from Carolina Girls Genealogy. Day 8 of Relative Race is what we're going to be talking about today with Laura. Laura Hedgecock from Treasure Chest of Memories. Hi, Laura.
Hi, how y'all doing?
We're good. We're excited to talk about day 8, right? Yeah, we've got Mary Kircher Roddy from MKR Genealogy and Applied Genealogy. Okay, say it for me.
Applied Genealogy Institute.
I thought that was right, but something in my little head went, wait a minute, I'm saying something wrong. and then we have,
Don't second guess yourself.
I know, Bernice, it's been a long day. And Bernice Bennett from Genealogy. Hello, Bernice.
Hello, everybody.
And it looks like Melissa Barker is coming on in, so let's get her in. She is there you go. She's a trooper. She just got done with a webinar. Now she's hopping in. Hey, Melissa, we just got started. So welcome to Melissa Barker, our archive lady.
Thank you.
We just finished a webinar and said I'll be there to talk about day 8. So we haven't even started. We were just doing the introduction. So I'm glad that you're here. Yeah, I'm glad you're here. I would like to start as we began day 8, and I can't believe we've only got one more day to find relatives. So, but day 8 started out with something very special for James. Anybody want to tell us what happened with James?
He got a letter from a cousin.
Yes.
That said, I don't know if he said I was supposed to meet you.
And he couldn't.
But the timing didn't work out.
Yeah.
That there was a conflict and he just couldn't
Right.
manage to make the meeting. But he really wanted to get to meet him. And so after the show, he wants to connect with James. So that made James just feel so good.
Just see his face. And what I thought was interesting too, Bernice, and I know you caught this and you know the history of this too. Do you want to tell us about why he doesn't know much about that side of the family?
Yes, it was because of the Liberian Civil War.
Yeah.
And the family, he just didn't follow up. It didn't know that much, but this is on his grandmother's side of the family. And so to actually have someone from that side of the family connect with him is really special.
Yeah. Well, can you explain to us how they'd be involved in the Liberian Civil War? It was after slavery, a lot of
after slavery. Several individuals did actually go back to Africa. They went to Liberia, yes.
Yeah. So he knew that about his family, but he had not contacted them. So that's a great start. Now he'll be able to learn about that side of his family, hopefully from this cousin. How cool is that? Not only did he get this letter, but people that didn't know about that connection and that, that history of slavery, learned about that last night. So I thought that was really, really cool. It was a great way to start the show with him getting that letter. Laura, did you want to say something?
Yeah, I think if Relative Race ever goes back to doing the Where Are They Now, that would be a great update story.
Yes.
I agree. And then they could go into a little more depth.
Yeah, I agree. That would be wonderful because I would love to hear what's happened and what he's learned, and if he's met other people. That would be really cool. And if he takes the trip to Liberia, right? If there's people still there, sounds like there might just.
They're not going to let him take that red car with him, though.
No, they're not going to let him take the red car with him. That is true. And the Green Team, they're always doing something with their relative. Always doing something the next day with the relatives. And this time they were skating. That was really fun.
You could call it that.
Well, they're trying to skate.
They were on skates.
They were on skates. There you go. But they always seem to be doing something really fun in the mornings with her sister. She's meeting all these sisters. So we need a hope at the end we get this one big picture with all these sisters from both sides. I mean,
right.
Goodness gracious, another sister. I think it's wonderful. I think it's absolutely wonderful. Team Blue, remember, came in first place. So they were going to get a benefit of 3 minutes off their time. And remember, we talked about this and made our guesses. We didn't all do so good, but some of us did. Made our guesses who they were going to give. They could also give 3 minutes off the time. But what I thought was weird is they didn't have to do it right at the beginning. Did you guys find that interesting?
I thought that was weird too.
I thought it was a little weird.
I was expecting them to make that decision at the beginning.
Have to make that decision. Yeah.
Right.
as we talk, we'll find out. I think they gave it based on some information they had, and I would have
I
thought,
agree.
yeah, I would have thought they had to do that right from the beginning. But they were really funny because they sent all the teams a text saying, "Does 3 minutes sound good to you today?" So they all thought, "Oh, they've chosen us." And Team Black said, "Do you want our Venmo number?"
Yeah.
I thought that was really funny. But I was really surprised that it wasn't something that they had to choose right from the beginning. I was very, very surprised at that. So I don't know what the thought process was going into that. So it seemed like
I think that's a question for the reunion show.
I think that's a question for the reunion show, and we will ask.
Just write them in the chat now, Mary.
We want to know what was going on with that. Let's see. Team Black got a family history book, which we always.
Yes.
I wish they'd flip through some more of those pictures so we could have seen it. That was really special that they got that family history book. I thought
I
that
always
was
think it's great whenever they run into their ancestors that are doing genealogy or into family history. You know,
yes.
and I sometimes wonder, did they do it or did they supply that for them to give to
Yeah.
them or
Yeah,
you
I
know,
wonder
but
about that.
know,
Yeah, I wondered about that sometimes too, but yeah, that
it's
was
still
really
great.
yeah. And I also wish they would let us know how the book was created, if it was created professionally, because I think that's good to get the name out of whomever created it for them so that they can get a little advertisement out of it and people will know where to go if they are trying to create a book. So it would be really nice to know how those books were created. So, but
Sure, yeah. I mean, Mike could look at the credits. I
I'm
mean,
wondering,
I watch it
yeah.
on the app, so I don't get credits.
Get all the credits.
Oh.
Yeah, that's a good point. I wonder if it was on the credits. Yeah. And did you guys notice that there after the credits there was a memorial to somebody, but I don't know who that
Yeah,
person
I noticed
is.
that too.
And a lot of the Facebook pages were saying who was that person? How are they related to the show? Was that a relative? I don't remember her being a relative. I mean, it was just odd, you know, and so I wish they'd let us know. When they do that, I wish they put something underneath to let us know who that person is. But you know, our thoughts go out to that family who's grieving, whoever that was as part of the relative race family. So we'd like to send our condolences with that. Well, oh, I was reading.
You don't have to read that.
Everybody stop because Mary's in the chat. We're all trying to read it. Okay, you had a question. All right, Mary.
No, that was just for future references. It was the discussion. So we
I see what
remember
you're
to
saying,
ask.
because we
Team
told you to
Blue.
put it in the chat. See?
Yes.
I
Yes,
told
this
you
is
I've had
what
a
you're
long day. Look,
Obeyed.
I was
So
telling
this
everybody
is what you're saving for
for
the
everybody else. My
the
brain
day
is a
10
little
post.
skedaddled today. Melissa, you didn't come on and hear this, but just about an hour before we came on, everybody needs to let everybody in your family know that you were doing genealogy research, because I had a cousin, and about an hour before we started recording, send me a video that she had just discovered on her family videos that had my great grandmother on it with her two daughters walking in front of the family home. You could tell maybe they hadn't had, whoever's taking the video hadn't had that recorder for very long. They walked kind of one way in front of the house and then turned around and walked back the other way. My grandmother had on what looked like a really nice Sunday dress with her little powder blue hat on, and her older daughters, my mom's aunts. Her father died in World War II. I've talked about him before, so this was my mom's grandmom and paternal grandmother. And so to see that video, it just kind of shook me up and got me a little teary-eyed. So my brain, as it usually is, gone, as y'all know, but it's really gone today. So anyway, so forgive me for that, but get your information out there so people can find you. And sometimes it's years before, because I thought she had given me everything that she had, and then all of a sudden years later,
Keep asking.
yeah, keep asking. I think I found a video of your family. And I'm like, yes, you did. So it's just been, I'm still trying to process that she sent that to me. So how wonderful is that? All righty. So let's, is there anything else from when they started? I think we
Can
covered
we talk
all.
about Green Team and them doing roller skating?
Yes.
Yes.
Well, I thought, I think that, believe it or not, and maybe it was happening before this, but, I'm a secret, don't tell anybody, I'm an NFL fan. And so, the Super Bowl halftime show, they roller skated as part of the show. And so, and I don't know if had started to become a thing again, but I think roller skating is the thing again.
Oh, maybe
I've
it
been
is.
seeing it a lot.
Really not the inline skating, but the actual
No, regular
skating.
roller skating.
Wow. Well,
Yeah.
then it's easier too because you got the 4 skates.
Right.
It's a lot easier to
Right.
balance.
I mean, I was an avid roller skater as a teenager, but I wouldn't get on
Yeah.
them now.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Yeah, they're always having something fun with their
Yes.
relative before they get that text from Dan and they've got to
and I
get on
wanted
the
to
road.
say something that I don't know if it's an epiphany or if we've talked about this before, but is it just strange to you guys that they never seemingly get lost when they're looking for their challenge?
I had the same thing, that whether
Yeah.
they give them
I don't know.
directions to the
Yeah, I don't know
challenge
why this
place.
particular episode it
Yeah.
came to my mind, but I thought, they
Yeah.
never get lost when they're looking for their challenge.
They must have something to get them to the challenge. But I think you're right. I don't, unless they just don't, maybe they just don't
show
maybe
it
they
or something.
edit it out.
I just would be
because-
interested to ask someone
Yeah.
if they get
It's another question.
Put it
more
in the
direct-
chat.
Put it in the
Yeah.
chat, Melissa.
And Cheri, don't look at it.
I know. I won't look at it.
So anyway, so yeah.
I remember this. Um,
You just have to save the chat, Cheri. That's all you have to do.
too funny. So this challenge was something else, the ring swing.
Ring swing.
And they had to choose again between a physical and a mental, which they wanted to
Did-
do. And
Did they get to
They had
choose
to
or
physically
y-
challenge. I mean,
yes.
they knew what they wanted,
yeah.
right?
but they couldn't just say, I want to do this. They had
So
to
if it
make
had
a
accidentally gone to
ring.
the other one, they would have had to have
Right.
done that one.
Yes,
So they
that's what it
really
looked
Yeah.
like.
sort of kind
Yeah.
of didn't get to choose.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
that's what it looked like to me, and I wasn't sure as I was watching. Yeah. So anyway, or did they have to keep doing it till they hooked it onto the one they wanted to do? I don't know. I was a little confused about that, but I don't think there was a benefit for either one. I mean, they were all so the physical was trying to get that they had to get that swingy hook thing ring around the hook, and then they had to go and put on those helmets, and they had a little tube on top of their helmets, and the other team
It
member
looked like little unicorns running around.
had to throw a disc like a frisbee, but it had a hole in the middle, and they had to catch it on that disc, and so it was a lot harder than I think they thought it would be. Especially Team Black was having a hard time because Brennan kept telling her mom, or vice versa, they kept saying, bend down so I can catch it. But then poor Brennan bent down too far and she lost some of the rings that she'd already collected. So they had to do it. She had to do it again. I thought that was really, really sad that she had to do that. And then if they did the mental, as I watched that, having to untie that ball with that ring and all that, I thought, this reminds me of when I get my necklaces in a knot. I'm trying to somehow figure out how to undo them, that looked really hard.
We have a place in Seattle called the Pacific Science Center.
Uh-huh.
And I know last time I was there, they had those kind of ropey, ringy kind of puzzles
Okay.
that you have to do.
Yeah.
I was not very good at them.
Yeah. But that's what they reminded me of, is last
Yeah.
time I tried to get a necklace undone. Laura.
Yeah, so we had a family lake house, and it was funny when the kids were little, they would inevitably get their fishing lines tangled.
Yes.
And the girls got their jewelry tangled, and it's Matt's mom is the only one that could ever get them apart. And it wasn't dexterity, it was
Yeah.
just being able to
Yes.
look at it and figure
I
out
have
what
a daughter.
to go
I have
through.
a daughter.
It's a
that-
type of intelligence.
Right. I have a daughter that can do that. And I just will hand them to her and say, please undo this. And so like we're on our way to church from
Fix
from
it.
my house to church. She can get it untied and get it on me, but she's not here right now. She's not at home for a while. So I just try to do it. And if I can, I'm like, well, I'll just wait till Allie gets home in a year. She can untie all my necklaces. I'll just leave them all out for her. But yeah, I think you're right. There's some kind of mental, she can just see how to do it. And I just can't see how to do it. So those were interesting. And then of course, poor Team Red just could not get that done. And again, we've got a team that timed out. I think we've had more teams time out this season than we've had before. I mean, we've had other seasons where teams would time out, but it just
But
seems.
Team Green did it faster than any challenge has ever been done. It's
I
like
know.
57 seconds.
Yeah, amazing. And see, they were trying to get out of the bottom. And so they had to beat at least one team. So I think they pretty much knew they had to have done that because they got it done so fast. So it was doable. You just have to have the right person, getting it together and getting it done. So that was quite the challenge. I don't think I want to put that in a book because, and just so y'all know, somebody reached out to me and said they would be willing to start collecting all the challenges and start putting them together and see if we can't come up with a book. Is that so funny? Wasn't anybody from actual relative race. It was just a fan on Twitter. She says, if you're serious, we can start making a collection of these and we can create it. And maybe they'll let us use relative race, and create our own book. Wouldn't that be so funny? Anyway, I thought that was great. I mean, we've talked about it enough seasons. And somebody's gonna take us serious and want to gather those games together. So then it was off to their relatives. And still we don't know who's gonna have the 3 minutes off. We don't know. They didn't make them choose yet, still, even after the challenge. So let's go through. Who would like to go through Team Red? Who did Team Red meet?
Team Red met his sister.
Yeah, another
Jenna.
sister. Yeah.
Yes.
So very cool. Yeah. So now he's got a baby sister and an older sister. So I thought that was really cool. I thought that was
Yes.
that was a good meeting for them. Yeah.
It was good.
It
Yeah.
was good, and she did comment on the eyes.
Oh yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah.
You
You
could
could-
tell and how much he
Yes.
looked like your father.
Oh, absolutely. And like I
Yes.
said, those genes were strong. Those paternal
Yeah.
genes were very, very strong. And you see families that are like that, you can see families that absolutely, you're somewhere and you see kids, you're going, okay, that kid goes with that family and this kid goes with that family. You can really tell. And so they're one of those types of families that you can really, really tell, that they belong together, that they look so much alike. So I think that was sweet for him to be able to, and they were both on cloud nine because he gets to meet a sister and James got that letter. And so I felt so good for them on day 8 because they both had that excitement of learning about new family members. So I thought that was great for both of them. They were so happy and they're so supportive of each other. And I think Justin was thrilled that James got that letter.
I think it helped us too. I mean, someone correct me if I'm wrong because they showed the video of when we started the season and he was talking about his expectations. In my mind, I don't remember us seeing that, but did
I don't
was that?
either.
I don't remember.
Yeah.
I don't remember him saying. I
It
thought
was like that was a piece that they didn't show us, but they were showing it to us now.
Yeah, because it felt to me from the beginning that he was just there to support. But we always know that even those supporting characters sometimes find unexpected. But it was so unexpected, we didn't know he didn't know anything about that side of the family. So somehow we
I
all
don't
missed
think
it.
that part that they
I
showed
don't
we got to
think-
see at the beginning.
I don't
Because
think
I would have remembered that because we kept
Yeah.
asking ourselves, why aren't they giving James a, and we
Right.
kept thinking, well, because we don't think that, because we think
Yeah.
he knows all of them,
Exactly.
which he doesn't.
Yeah, so cool. So I'm glad.
Yeah.
I'm so glad that he got that. I just hope they just started coming out of the woodwork after after the show was filmed. And he's got a good sense of was it his maternal side?
Yes.
Yes, that I'm hoping that he got a really good sense of his maternal side. And then we've got Ashley and Brennan, Team Black. Anybody want to talk about who they met?
They met another sister for Ashley and her
Yes.
2 twin new cousins for Brennan.
Yes. And I loved the story where they kept saying,
Yeah.
number one, that Brennan looked like somebody. Yeah, she looked like her aunt. Good grief, she looked like her aunt. And then I love the story of how the whole thing came together because one of the twins took a DNA test.
Yes.
And that's how
And
they,
if I'm, did they not say that that's what caused all
yes.
this?
Yeah.
I thought so.
Yeah. Yeah. Isn't that amazing? Isn't that amazing? Take this
That's
younger
amazing.
generation to get these things going. I thought that was fabulous. It was yay for
And
today and the youth.
they had that fun connection that the newfound sister said, yeah, we always play aggravation. And
Yes.
she said that's my game. I
That's
played
my
that since I was a
game.
kid. So
Yeah,
and
those kind of things were
whipped her butt.
yeah, those and then they had that little sibling rivalry, I let her win. No, she, that was really cute.
But when they drove up and those nieces were on that balcony, it scared me to death because I'm scared of heights anyway.
Oh,
But I was like, oh my goodness.
get them off that balcony.
That's kind of what I thought was like, were they supposed to lean like that? Is that structurally sound?
Oh, Relative Races got some really good insurance because one of those girls is gonna fall. So, but it amazes me how many times families meet and they find that they've got, I mean, they've never met before, but they've got all these things in common. It just amazes me. There's just something about the genes that it tells you so much. There is nature and there's nurture, and they work together in all of us, I think. And it's so profound when you find people with so much in common that weren't raised together, that knew nothing about each other. I love that so much. And that's got to help with those connections, to find out that you've got so much in common. It's really got to help with that. So we've done black, let's go to green. Do we do
I
green?
want to do green.
Okay, do green, Bernice.
I love that story.
Yes.
That Jill met her baby sister,
Another.
Shante.
Yes.
But though, as soon as I saw her, I said, that's her sister.
That's her sister. Oh, absolutely.
Yes.
Same thing with her
Those are
family.
some
All the
strong
sisters,
views.
they all look alike. Yeah.
Yes, yes.
And
And her sister was very emotional
oh,
because
she
she
was.
knew about her and she
Yeah.
had her baby picture.
Right. That's right. Which really shocked Joe. She was like, where did you get that picture? And then I guess they realized that was the picture taken right before she was adopted. So her adoptive family got that picture, and her biological family had that. So it was beautiful. And it looked like she had taken it and made it into a larger like canvas print is what it
Right.
looked like.
Yes.
And she had said that she'd also had her picture as her screensaver for so many years, because she just wanted to look for her and just had her in the forefront of her mind all those years. And oh gosh, it just amazing, just amazing. So I was so happy for her. And I'm trying to count how many sisters, I've lost count of how many sisters she's met. So,
I
because there's
have
almost,
too. I was wondering what that was. I was like, I've got, because I don't put my notes
besides
in
the
the same
mom, it's
notebook
been almost,
every week.
yeah, besides the mom, it's been almost a sister a week, right? So
Mhm.
yeah, that's a lot of sisters. And she's the oldest. Wow.
What I thought was sweet was that they immediately just wanted to focus on the little sister and
Yes.
letting her feel comfortable and like, don't
Yes.
try to make a good impression. I don't
Yeah.
know. It was just
Yeah, I think
very,
so too.
well, she's a pro at meeting new sisters now.
Yeah, this is true. She's had plenty of practice now.
She's a professional sister. Like
Professional sister meter. Yeah. Yeah. And you're right. She did, because you could tell that she was nervous, and she said she was nervous, and
Yes.
she had all sorts of emotions going on. And so Joe was wonderful just to let her work through those emotions, and instead of it being all about, oh, I have found my sister, it was, my sister's found me, and she's working through these emotions, because she kind of turned it around a little bit. And I think that was really beautiful that she did that. And I'm loving that they're taking Tiara and just welcoming her into the family as well, so that Tiara's not feeling, she's meeting all this family. Now I'm on the outside, they're welcoming me into. So I really like that. She seems to be enjoying enjoying all the moments too. So
Still, it would be nice to see her find, I mean,
somebody.
surely JoJo is out of sisters now.
Yeah.
Day 9.
And they could find somebody on day 9 for Tierra, right? Because we only got one more day left to find a relative. Team Blue, that one was very special. That one was very special. Anybody want to lead off with Team Blue?
Yes, Team Blue. I absolutely loved it. I want to say, I think, because I didn't see some of the earlier seasons, but I think this is the first time we met a relative in an apartment building on the roof.
Yes,
think-
that was a first. That was a first. Yes.
But I have to say how truly excited and genuinely excited they were when they found their relative's address.
Yes.
That
Yes.
was so good to see. But
Yes.
so anyway, they met Del Monte,
Uh-huh.
Eric's cousin on his dad's side.
Yeah.
And you know, we all say it's a small world,
Yeah.
but the similarities, and I didn't look it up, someone else may have looked it up, but they both were alumni of
Yes.
Up with People.
Which is a
Right.
religious singing group. It's a
Okay.
Christian
I didn't know
religious
if it was a
singing
singing group or an
Uh-huh.
acting group, because it
Yeah.
says something, I thought it said something
And
about acting as
They would
well.
travel during the, I
travel.
think during the summers they travel. And
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it still exists if I'm
Does
not.
it still, I know it was, I think the 80s. I
It was
remember
big when I
seeing
was in
Yeah.
high school. I know it was big when I was in
Yeah.
high school. I had a
Well,
lot
Eric
of
said he
friends
was
that were
in it in the 80s.
Yeah.
But what I love the most is that his cousin said that he was a genealogy nut for
Yes.
40 years.
good man.
A very good man. I loved that. A genealogy nut.
And I thought we can all relate to that.
We
So,
all could relate to that. We love it when these family members are genealogists. It's so
yes.
fun. And again, they had that book, but we didn't get to see much of the book.
We saw that 5-generation photograph though, which
Yes.
was beautiful.
Yes, that was beautiful. That was absolutely beautiful. Laura, are you raising your hand or?
Oh, I was thinking kind of to myself though, the one thing that we noticed that we wondered about, like, because it was an apartment building, like, was there valet parking? I mean, because it's like right in Manhattan, there's no way you're going to
Yeah.
get a parking place.
No.
So I'm just wondering if they just threw the keys at some guy. Got the valet ticket.
I think they were expected because the
maybe
front
they
desk
took
clerk
were.
said,
Yeah.
You're Eric and and
Yeah.
Abe. So
And
go
go
on
to
up to
the
meet your ancestor.
So
So
maybe
go
they
ahead up and,
had, maybe they had some parking that they had reserved with some cones or something out front. I don't know, but that's a
wouldn't be
good
fair
point.
to penalize them for having to
No.
walk 25 blocks because that was
They couldn't find parking in New York. Oh, so funny. That was just beautiful, though, the views of the city and all that. That was gorgeous. That was
It was.
gorgeous. Yeah.
They had some beautiful shots of the city. A
Yeah,
lot
they
of
did.
really nice shots.
Yeah,
I
and
enjoyed
they
the
took a
city.
walk. They took a walk downtown, and I have to tell you, there's been some grumbling on some of the fans saying we did not want to watch them walk downtown. We wanted to see them go through the book. We wanted to see what was in the book. So yeah, and I just thought that was really funny because those probably were your genealogists that just wanted to see what was found and how the connections were in there and that type of thing. So, and he's still wearing his dad's hat. I love that. He says, I don't ever take it off.
What did you see at the challenge when they started to leave? He says, I can't forget the hat. And he ran back and got the hat.
Yeah. So that is so precious. So, here we are having all these wonderful, meetings as we always do. And then we have to get to, the results. I liked that they seem to be having more time to talk to each other before Dan shows up than in previous seasons. Oh, somebody said we've got to make sure. Yes, thank you for that. Well, thank you. And I'm sorry I'm reading these out loud, but this way you guys know that we talk to each other and plan these things. We need to have him if we can get the reunion show. I'm sure he will wear the hat. I'm sure. We'll tell him he can't come on unless he wears his hat. I'm sure
I think he needs to bring the book.
and the book. We want to see the
Yes,
book, all
bring
of
the
them.
book.
We want to see the
Mhm.
journal. We want to see the journal. We want to see all the stuff. We want to see all the things from this season. It would be so much fun. And they haven't read from the journal in the last few episodes. I'm kind of sad about that they haven't read from the journal. But anyway, so we get to results. And of course, the first thing they do is they show us the results from the challenge, because that's really what the last place team from the day before wants to see, if they have gotten themselves out of that position, so they're no longer in danger. And so, I mean, Team Green was in that position,
Mhm.
but they made everything out in record time. They had there was no doubt that they were going to win that. They won the challenge. So they won they had no problems with that challenge. So that got them out of the bottom, that got them out of danger. So then they had to, and so how did they come in? Let's see, they came in,
Green came in first,
okay,
blue came in
Blue.
second, and black was safe.
and then red was in the bottom because they timed out. I mean, unless
Well,
somebody else,
that's what added so much time to them. So they
Yeah.
got the 3 minute, they got blue team's 3 minutes,
yeah, but the
but
thing
they were
is,
so behind,
because
it didn't really.
it didn't matter. But the thing is they didn't ask Team Blue who was going to get that until after they showed them the challenge results. And I thought that was very interesting. So that helped them decide, I'm sure, who they wanted to give that 3 minutes to. They wanted to help that timing for Team Red at the end to see if they could
Yeah,
pull them
it
out.
was less strategic than in some previous seasons,
Yeah.
where they're
Yeah.
really deciding who they least want to be in the final with them.
Yeah, exactly right. So I thought that was just really interesting that they waited until that point for them to decide who was going to get that 3 minutes off their time. But unfortunately, it didn't help because they were so far behind. Even giving them that 3 minutes, it didn't help them come out of the bottom. So they're in the bottom again. This is like, they've been in the bottom several times now. And surprise, surprise, Team Blue came in first. But then again, they did have their 3 minutes taken off. I think they would have won it anyway. So am I right? Yeah, Team Blue
Yeah,
came
yeah.
Oh,
first.
I said
Then it
green
was,
came first.
well,
That's
Green came
reversed,
first in the challenge.
Challenge,
but
yes.
not
Yeah,
overall.
so you were
Okay.
right. Yeah, so you were right. And then Team Green, and then Team Black, and then Red is back in elimination. So day 9, whoever wins, all of the teams except for the winning team is going to have some kind of obstacle in that challenge again, something that's gonna, which actually means that the winning team's gonna get a benefit in the challenge is really what it means, but they say it in the way that you're gonna give the other teams, so an obstacle or whatever in that challenge. So
Yeah, I'll be honest, I'm kind of dreading day 9 because I don't have a good feeling about how it's going to work and who
Yeah.
could end up.
But I want to know how it's
I-
gonna work.
Yeah, no, it's good. And Dan
I
keeps saying,
know.
Dan keeps saying day 10 is going to be like nothing we've ever seen before. And he keeps reiterating the fact that there's going to be some kind of benefit for the amount of times that you came in.
But he said on day 10. He didn't say on day 9.
So I don't
So
know.
I
I
was just
know.
thinking, so if you've got all these first place benefits,
Yeah.
are they going to keep you out on? Yeah, so
Yeah. Is that going to be a benefit for you on day 9 to pop you out of that elimination if you get in it? I don't know. Because it doesn't seem fair to me to be so good at winning and then on the last day have something horrible go wrong and then you end up in the elimination and you're out when you've been winning. Like blue team's been winning and winning and winning.
stop putting that out into the universe.
No, it's already
It's
filmed
already
now.
happened.
It's already filmed. So, but just see what I mean? It just seems hardly fair. I think there'll be a riot. I think there'll be protests by all the
Relative
fans.
race riots. That is
Yeah,
a good alliteration. That's the
So-
next show for BYU TV.
Relative race
Race
riots.
riot.
So I don't know. It just that to me that just doesn't seem fair. But I don't know. It's gonna be really interesting, and I can't believe it. We've got one more day and we'll have met all the relatives. So who do we have left to meet? I'm not sure.
I don't think, yeah.
I don't know.
Team Black is pretty close to Orange County. I've been working where they work their way down I-5.
Yeah, and so who do you think
I used
might
to
be in
drive, I
Orange?
went to,
Yeah,
I grew up in the San Francisco Bay Area and went to
Yeah.
college in Southern California,
Yeah.
so
so,
I
so
drove
Mary,
past Santa Clarita a lot.
who do you think they're gonna meet in Orange County? Have you figured that out?
I think the biological mother's family.
I see, just some members of the, yeah, that would make
Yeah,
sense.
yeah.
'Cause she
I
can't,
I don't,
she
yeah.
can't
I
meet
mean,
her mom because she's passed away,
Yeah.
but it would be nice to meet other members. Maybe she's got a grandmother that's still alive or,
Yeah.
or something like that, or an uncle, an aunt, something like
Yeah,
that. That would
yeah.
be really nice. That would be really nice, I think, for her to meet somebody. Somebody else on that side of the family. Anybody else got any theories for anybody?
No.
I mean, Joe could meet
Like I
another
said,
sister.
I think JoJo's got to be out of sisters.
She's gotta be at this point. She's gotta be
She
out of.
could have a brother.
Yeah,
That's
she might have a
true.
brother somewhere.
Okay.
That's right. She might have a brother
Could
somewhere.
have a brother, yeah.
Eric has a mother still to meet, doesn't he?
No. Oh, yes. Yeah, because they met in Bermuda. Yeah. I was thinking my brain went to Abe. No.
That's right. We lost track of that.
Yeah, that's right. He's got a mother to meet. Ooh,
Mhm.
that would be super cool.
Mhm.
That would be super cool. Yeah. Oh gosh. And then I don't know about Team Red. I'm not sure unless he just meets another sibling. I don't know because his
Yeah.
father's passed away. And he knows his mom. I mean, his mom's not been an issue. His mom's the one that said, yes, you had a different father than your brother, and that's why you look different. And so he's been on this path to find paternal. But who knows who we might find. So and the same thing, there could be a grandmother, there could be a grandfather, somebody like that that's still around for him. So we'll have to wait and see.
No, okay.
It'll
It's
be
only
interesting.
6 more days till we
I know,
know.
only 6 more days. And then hopefully everybody, keep your fingers crossed, all you GenFriends, Relative Race Watcher bands, that we can get them all together for a reunion, and then we can ask some of these questions that everybody keeps putting in the chat, and I keep reading it all out. So maybe we can and do that. Ask, what questions would you want asked if we can get them all on? What do you want us to ask the teams? And we'll keep a list and we will ask them for you. So I think it's going to be a fun show to get everybody together and see how they felt about the changes this year and how it worked for them. And I guess we won't know how it worked for them till it's all over, because we don't know how it's going to work for them. So it's going to be frustrating, or if it's going to come out really good, we just don't know. So anyway, and I have loved reading your theories, so keep up with the theories, because I think those are pretty fun. So some of you sound like you're insiders, and if you're insiders, let us know what's going on. So we're not insiders, we know nothing, just what we watch, what you watch. So anyway, day 8.
Yeah, and I did notice too,
Yeah.
Dan was very specific about his language when he said on what did he say?
Day
It
10 will
almost
be
sounded
very
like on day
different.
10, the rules will be clear, like.
Yeah, he did say that, but he said it,
That
Melissa's right
hasn't been
too.
clear.
He
They're
said
very
day 10 will
different.
be very, very different.
Different than what we're used to.
I mean, as opposed to the whole season's been different, you know.
So how much more different could it be? The whole
And we wonder why Dan doesn't come on more often.
So with that, we will wait and see what happens on day 9. And we hope to hear from you. And like I said, tell us your theories, tell us the questions that you would like to ask when we have our season 13 reunion with the teams, and we will keep a list and we will ask your questions, and that'll be fun doing that. So with that, I'd like to thank this wonderful group of women for supporting me tonight on the show and being such Relative Race fans. I love having you here and helping keep me straight as I host the show. So anyway, thank you everybody, and we will see you next week for day 8. Bye everybody.
Bye.
Bye-bye.